How you doing, guys? Let's talk about our fourth week coming up here. This is an even-numbered week. Even-numbered weeks is an essay due week. So our week 2 was our narrative essay, our first essay. We had some exercises in SEC and a couple of essays to read in our reader in week 3. And here we are in week 4 with our second essay, which will be due at the end of the week, which will be Sunday, the 28th. So format is going to be the same throughout our entire term. So if you're looking at the student examples that come underneath the exercises, like narrative, it was underneath exercises 2 and 3. You could look in the descriptive section for student examples as well, underneath the exercises we did in the SEC textbook. By the way, these things are on the left-hand side of the screen in the buttons there, the menu. You'll see the textbook, that's SEC. The 1101 reader is our reader. So make sure you're following the format, MLA format, Times New Roman, 12 point, double-spaced. The title is the same text size and font as the rest of your document. Upper left-hand side of the page, the first page, is your MLA heading. Your name, my name, the course, and the date. Upper right-hand side of each page is your last name and the corresponding page number. Thesis statement always goes in the bottom, the last sentence of the introduction paragraph. Okay, I should be able to point to it. For your descriptive, it's not a story per se. Your narrative, of course, was a story whereby you are relating a single big life moment. This, what you're doing is you're devoting descriptions, adjectives, and adverbs to. Those are the two modifiers in the 8 parts of speech, adjectives and adverbs. So adjectives, big, round, red. Adverbs rather, deliciously, well, etc. Okay, usually adverbs have ly endings, although not always. Adverbs modify other adverbs, adjectives, and verbs. Adjectives modify nouns and pronouns. And when we say modify, we mean add to or describe. Okay? So those are the two descriptive parts of speech, adjectives and adverbs. So you're using adjectives and adverbs to create what I like to call a word picture. Okay? So I, as the reader, when I read your essays, whatever you're describing, whether that be your grandmother, a person, a place, let's say Paris, okay, an idea, let's say justice or love, a concept, okay. Whatever you're describing, you need to make it come to life with vivid descriptions, okay. The thing you want to keep in mind, though, is you want to strike the right balance. So you don't want to go overboard with descriptors, with adjectives and adverbs. Because just think about it intuitively. What is the danger of overloading your sentences with too many modifiers? Well, the sentences might start to read kind of tedious and maybe a little overwrought. Really, in your writing, you should try to go for spare, direct, crisp writing. Now, this isn't to dissuade you from, being colorful and creative in your writing. It's just the right balance. So, for example, let's say I'm describing un momento. Visual aid here. Let's say I am describing this banana, okay? I could go about it in all sorts of ways, okay? I could say the yellow splotchy banana, okay? Notice all the splotches right here, okay? So 2 descriptive words right there, but it really doesn't capture the full essence of this particular banana, right? This is kind of it is, to be charitable, an overripe banana. If we were really to be honest, it's probably a throwaway banana, okay? Depending on your taste, of course. My wife tends to like these things just past green, basically, which I consider to be way underripe. A banana like this, though, I would have eaten happily, like by itself a few years ago, but now, even me, someone who likes the kind of ripe, overripe stage of development, let's say, in a piece of fruit, I wouldn't eat this by itself. Now, in a smoothie or something, maybe even cut up in my breakfast cereal, yeah, I'd probably eat it. So let's describe this banana. We could say overripe. Okay, we could say maybe, I don't know if you guys have tasted an overripe banana, but they have this kind of overly sweet, like sickly sweet taste to them, right? This doesn't really look like a healthy banana, right? So this is all to say you want to be careful and balanced in the words that you choose to describe your object. If I devoted my essay to describing this lone banana, and it would be a challenge, but I could crank out 4 to 5 paragraphs on this single banana, okay? It'd be kind of tough, and I don't know if it would be really remarkably great reading material, but we could do it, okay? So I could go about it in all sorts of ways, okay, is the bottom line, okay? So choosing wisely how many descriptive words you devote in any sentence to describing your subject, okay? You want to hit like a nice sweet spot, pardon the pun. Not overly doing it with too many descriptive words, but you want to give enough to really make the thing come to life, okay? So what I'm going to be doing this week, so the essay, okay, let's go over what to do this week. The essay due by Sunday, the 28th. What else is due? We have a journal. We've done one journal already on the importance of narrative writing. Our journal, which is going to be due Friday, the 26th, I'm staggering the due dates this week of our 2 assignments so that you guys can get that journal out of the way, which are usually easier, just a couple of paragraphs typically. Reflective, okay, I have a prompt for you. It's a short little writing piece. And then the bigger assignment, the essay, a couple days later, Sunday. The journal this week asks you all to think about that very idea of what's the danger of overloading your writing with cumbersome, overdone, weighty descriptions, okay? And I basically answered it for you already, right? If I, spend sentence upon sentence describing this banana, eventually you're going to be like, oh, all right, dude, I've heard enough about the stupid banana. Okay, can we get to the next thing? All right. So I'm just kind of asking you guys to reflect on that idea of striking a nice sweet spot when it comes to describing your subject. That's for the journal, okay? Other things to talk about, I'm going to get your essays back so that you have ample time to review them and kind of get a gist of how I grade things. They'll be turned around back to you, I'd say probably no later than Wednesday, Thursday this week. I know on the announcements I have no later by the weekend. Remember, I allow myself 2 weeks turnaround time for essays, but to be fair to you all, so that you could see how you did and prepare accordingly for the essay coming up, of course, I'm going to be working to get them turned around back to you so that you have enough time to review. Okay. Things to keep in mind, though, I am, going through college, high school, even back in middle school, certain teachers had certain things that bugged them, or certain things that they were, trying to really key in on when they were reading a response of yours. Me, I'm a format hawk. HAWK, like a format hawk. Like, if I see an essay that doesn't match the format, okay, isn't 12-point Times New Roman, double spaced, isn't all uniform in terms of the same size, guys don't, have these big fat titles on your first page, underline, bold. You don't want to do any of that stuff, okay? And this is all outlined in the paper format attachment in our lessons area in Blackboard. So when I see something that doesn't go along, follow the format, I'm likely to just kind of dismiss it out of hand. Like, hey, I got enough stuff to do. Let's move on to the next one. This one isn't getting a good grade. I will just, on the rubric there, the last thing is format. It's going to get a low format score. Okay, depending on how bad it is, right? So do yourself a favor and format things correctly. I'm pretty loose and open on the classwork, homework stuff. In fact, I don't really have a format guide for you guys on that stuff, but the essays absolutely must follow the formatting. And I recognize too that sometimes when you submit a file to me, and Blackboard now actually tells us this, which I'm glad that it does, it'll say, during the file upload, transmission, submission process, the format may have been scrambled or screwed up. And when I see that, I'm like, okay, well, the formatting problematic here, but likely it's not the student's fault. Okay, so I won't ding you really for the format because it's probably not your fault, right? But if things are obvious that you just didn't do, like the heading on the upper left isn't correct, you don't have page numbers, the title is hugely different from the rest of the text in the document, stuff like that, or you're not indenting, although sometimes the format Blackboard can screw up your indents too. But that stuff is like things you did or didn't do, right? So just be really careful and meticulous about formatting things properly, I would say. Okay? Turn things in on time and in the right place too. Years ago, I used to be much more understanding about, hey, if you don't get it in, I'll just comb through my emails, and when I come time to grade, I'll find your thing and I'll grade it. I can't afford to do that anymore. I just got way too much going on, and we all do. We're all busy, right? But with 93 students, that's between middle school and you guys over there in Georgia at GNTC, I can't afford you all the luxury of, I'll just turn it in whenever, I'll pop it in his email and he'll get to it. Now, I know we have extenuating circumstances that complicate our lives. If you need an extension and you have a legitimate excuse, and remember, this is on the syllabus, this is our contract, okay? I'm pretty understanding, but you have to get to me. You have to let me know first, as best you can, before you turn in the late assignment. And I make no guarantee that I'm going to accept your emailed assignment unless there's some, complicating issue or we've worked something out, we've made an arrangement. But by and large, assignments seem to be turned in on time and in the correct Dropbox, the assignment link in Blackboard, okay? I can't afford to be merciful with late assignments emailed to me, again, unless we worked out an arrangement, okay? So be open with me, communicate with me regularly, and things will be just peachy, okay? All right, then, I'm going to go ahead and shut my flapper here. Nice little prop we had today, Mr. Not-so-good-looking banana. Papers will be coming back to you. Narratives will be coming back to you this week, probably in stages, probably a little bit each day, a little bit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably having back to you no later than Thursday. Okay. As with the narrative, if you want me to look over a draft of your essay, again, please have those in no later than Wednesday night, like 11:59. If you've emailed me a draft of your essay and the timestamp is after 11:59, like as in it's midnight Thursday, I'm just going to disregard it. Okay. So if you want me to look at a paper by Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. Okay? All right. Peace. I salute you. Talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.